this is what the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass looks like now, and this is my dream Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. I'm gonna go through all 48 courses right now. Let's get started with the Golden Dash Cup, where I'm starting with Tour New York Minute. Yes, I had to throw this in there, the first Mario Kart Tour track in the track that is physically closest to my location. I have to appreciate New York Minute, and it's a pretty good track. Contrary to what many people think, I like the tight turns and just the nighttime aesthetic, so throw it in there. Next up, I'm going with 3DS Toad Circuit. I know not a fan favorite in the Booster Course Pass, but I personally love it. But following that, we got a track that's currently in Wave 2. I'm throwing Calamari Desert in the Golden Dash Cup. I think it's a safe Wave 1 track, and I think it would be perfect here. And finally, rounding out the Golden Dash Cup, we got GCN Mushroom Bridge. I'm kind of nervous that this will not make the Booster Course Pass, and if it doesn't, that'd be an absolute crime. So I'm throwing it in here in specifically Wave 1 for this Booster Course Pass. Let's get it in here. Now onto the Lucky Cat Cup, the second Wave 1 track. I'm starting with SNES Mario Circuit 1. This is going to be the ultimate Mario Kart game, so let's throw the first ever Mario Kart track in there as a Booster Course Pass track. Next, I'm throwing one of the few 3DS tracks that have never been remade. That is 3DS Woohoo Loop. That's right, get a one-lap sectioned track in there. I know the Switch isn't necessarily about the Mii's. That's back with the Wii days, but we gotta get Woohoo Loop in there. It's such an iconic track. It's so fun, and many people are clamoring for it to return. But following that, we have a track that is already in the Booster Course Pass, Mushroom Gorge from Mario Kart Wii. Of course, we can't really have a Booster Course Pass without this iconic track, a fan favorite from Wii. You gotta love it. Let's throw it in Wave 1. And finally, the one track that is in the exact spot in the Booster Course Pass, I'm keeping Tour Ninja Hideaway at the bottom of the Lucky Cat Cup. It's a fun Wave 1 track. It's just a fun track in general. Love the music, love the theming. There's not really another track like it, so I don't want to move it out of its spot. Keep Ninja Hideaway where it is. Next up on Wave 2, we have the Turnip Cup, and I'm flipping the tour tracks around. We got Sydney Sprint kicking things off with Wave 2 in the Turnip Cup. This is a fun, fantastic track. I like the music, of course. I like the style of the track. It's one of the more high-definition tour tracks. The better tour remakes we've gotten 8 Deluxe, throw it in here. Next is the track I'm shocked we haven't gotten the Booster Course Pass yet. That is DS Luigi's Mansion. I mean, come on, guys. This would be coming out around the end of summertime, so it'd be great to kick things off for Halloween with DS Luigi's Mansion coming out in Wave 2. I think it would be fantastic. It would be just cool to see everybody race in a dark, spooky mansion. I know we got Twisted Mansion already, but let's throw the OG Luigi's Mansion in there. Another track I'm surprised is not on the Booster Course Pass, 3DS Shy Guy Bazaar. This was one of the original Mario Kart Tour tracks that was ported over into that phone game. This is one of the strongest Mushroom Cup tracks in Mario Kart 7. And I gotta say, it's pretty fun, but honestly kind of forgotten about. So why not we bring it back, revive it here in the Booster Course Pass? In ending the Turnip Cup, I got Wii Coconut Mall. I'm moving it from Wave 1 to Wave 2. I think it makes a little bit more sense here just because I feel like it fits better with those tracks. But regardless, doesn't really matter which wave it goes into. The fact that we're getting Coconut Mall in Wave 2 regardless is kind of a vibe. So let's keep it in here. Now onto the Propeller Cup. We got another tour track kicking things off, and this is Paris Promenade, the first ever track in the Booster Course Pass, kicking things off in Wave 1 in the real Booster Course Pass, but I'm throwing it towards the back half of Booster Course Pass Wave 2. No real rhyme or reason for this. I just couldn't find a place to fit it in Wave 1. I'm one of the few people that honestly really likes Paris Promenade. I like the fact that you go forward the first 2 laps and then backwards the second 2 laps, and let's keep it that way. Next up, another Wii track, but one people are clamoring for, and no, it's not Daisy Circuit. I'm talking about Toad's freaking Factory. You know what's up. Toad's Factory is one of the most iconic tracks in Mario Kart Wii. It's an underrated track. Not many people talk about it, and now people are clamoring for it to return to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, but I don't think it will. It doesn't even have a remake in Tour. It won't have a remake in Tour. So this track is pretty much screwed, unfortunately, but in my dream Booster Course Pass, I've grown to like Toad's Factory more and more, so I'm going to throw it in here for you guys. Third track in the Propeller Cup, I've got GCN Dino Jungle. Yes, a fantastic track, one of my favorites from Mario Kart Double Dash, so I had to throw this in here. There's no way I am doing a Booster Course Pass and Dino Jungle is not getting in the Booster Course Pass. I like the challenge it brings, the bridges going off into 3 different sections and getting boost panels at the smallest bridge. Yeah, fun track. Let's bring it back. And last but not least, moving just 1 cup over, but staying in Wave 2, we got Waluigi Pinball. Of course, one of the ones I made my infamous raps off of, a fan favorite from Mario Kart DS and one of my favorite Mario Kart DS tracks. Of course, it is iconic. It's amazing, and the colors, the lights, and everything. Oh, one of the top tracks in the Mario Kart series. That's a very common opinion, but that doesn't take away from the fact that yes, it does deserve to be in the Booster Course Pass. Now let's talk about Wave 3. We've got a bunch of snow-themed tracks in the first cup, the Rock Cup. Let's talk about Vancouver Velocity kicking things off. It is a Wave 5 track in the Mario Kart Deluxe Booster Course Pass, the real one, but in my dream Booster Course Pass, we're getting it nice and early in Wave 3. Again, another one I made a wrap off of. It's a fun track in the neon aurora lights, or the northern lights, I should say. Brilliant, with a bunch of fun pathways, and you can go through an ice hockey rink. Oh, a fun track that I can also talk forever about because it's one of the best tour originals. Next up, we got another snow themed track. In fact, GBA Snowland. It's literally a snow in the name, and boy oh boy, in Mario Kart Deluxe did it get quite the remake. Oh, it is so fantastic. It's got some epic shortcuts. It got some penguins. It's got a hole in the ice. The original was kind of fun. I enjoyed it, but man, the music and just the overall overhaul, I should say, ooh, you gotta love it. And the third snow themed track in a row, DK Summit, another rap song that I did. I guess we're loving these snow themed songs for the raps, but regardless, DK Summit, this is an iconic Mario Kart track. Comes right after Coconut Mall and the Flower Cup and Mario Kart Wii. They remade it pretty well in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so I'm just going with the snow themed tracks here. Throw DK Summit into there. Last but not least, not necessarily a snow-themed track, but boy, oh boy, this is a fun one nonetheless. Mushroom City. I know we just had Mushroom Bridge in Wave 1, but we gotta have Mushroom City as well. It's on the simpler side, but when you go underground, underneath the highway, you can take the purple path for a nice shortcut, and you can also just, you know, cut around the Wiggler carts, and you can go in one direction or another for both sections, and then come back up on the main highway. Man, I love it, and the music is phenomenal. I really like this track. Give it to me in Wave 3 of my dream Booster Course Pass. Now into the Moon Cup, and we're starting with another tour night themed track. Do you know what I'm talking about? Singapore Speedway, one that came out early in 2022, I believe, in Mario Kart Tour. This is a really incredible track. The music is bumping. All the lights and the activity and the scenery. This track, if you have not played Singapore Speedway, is incredible and definitely deserves a spot in the Booster Course Pass, so let's throw it in here. Next is a track that actually got recently remade in Mario Kart Tour and looks absolutely incredible. Lakeside Park from the Game Boy Advance from Super Circuit. Oh my goodness, I don't have gameplay of the Tour version, but you guys will have to stick with the GBA version. But I did like how in the GBA version, the original, that it had the sunset mechanic that, well, Sunset Wilds also had, except this time it was a volcano that was erupting during the night as well. It was a brilliant aspect and feature of a track that actually interacted from the background to the foreground on the track itself. Let's get more of that in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Bring back Lakeside Park. Now we got our first Bowser Castle, the Booster Course Pass. This is DS Bowser Castle. I don't want to throw it in the later waves because there's so many Bowser's Castles called Bowser's Castle, whereas this one is called Bowser Castle. So I'm leaving the Bowser Castle here in Wave 3. Regardless though, incredible track. I will always be haunted by the spinning rod you can fall to the bottom with. If you get shocked by lightning in there, you are pretty much screwed for the rest of your race, but it's still a really fun track, and I like the music, and it's just got a fun, unique challenge to it that not many other Bowser Castles have. And finally, for Wave 3, we're keeping it tradition with 3DS Rainbow Road. It fits perfectly to end the first half of the Booster Course Pass with a Rainbow Road. It makes so much sense, and why not keep 3DS Rainbow Road in there? That means we have 3 tracks that I did raps for in the Wave 3 of this dream Booster Course Pass of mine, but I'm not mad by it. This is incredible. 3DS Rainbow Road, you can stay right where you are. Now into the second half of the Booster Course Pass. Starting things off with Wave 4, we got Berlin Byways. You already know, with the music it's got, it has to stay in the Booster Course Pass. And following that, we got We Dry Dry Ruins, a track that was also recently remade in Mario Kart Tour, and it looks really darn good. I think it could make for a brilliant Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass track. We need desert tracks that are actually good in this game. All the desert tracks are kind of meh, but let's bring back Dry Dry Ruins and give me some hope that we can have a good desert track. And following that, we have a track that I can't believe is not in the Booster Course Pass and most likely will not be in. Airship Fortress, a fan favorite from the DS. If there is a second favorite track or almost a first favorite track besides Waluigi Pinball in Mario Kart DS, it is Airship Fortress. Based off of Mario Brothers 3 with the airship levels, it's a fun one for me. Not one of my favorites, but still a really good one. I need this one in this game, so throw it in there. And the last track of the Fruit Cup is, you guys already know, if you have been with me for the Mario Kart Wii time trial days, GCN DK Mountain, also remade in Mario Kart Tour, and I need this track in my Dream Booster Course Pass because it is one of the best tracks that Nintendo has ever made. You love the cannon, you love the mountain, you love the angry face on the mountain, you love the shortcut that you can do, and there's just so many good things about the track. I'm sure they're not going to be able to do the glitch in the 8 Deluxe version of DK Mountain, but that's okay because it's still a phenomenal track regardless. Give me that track. I need it. Next is the Boomerang Cup, still in Wave 4 here. We got 3DS Maka Woohoo. Woohoo Loop is good. It's pretty darn good, but the better version is, of course, undoubtedly Maka Woohoo. You love the glitch where you can cut an entire section off in Maka Woohoo. You love the long gliding section that you can just glide for 20-30 seconds and make your way down to the finish. You love the little cave section. Actually, that one's kind of all right, but there's the aesthetic, the sunset aesthetic, and then the Woohoo Loop bridge that's just in the background. Oh, so many great things about Maka Woohoo. Bring that back. Then we got a controversial pick, GBA Sunset Wilds. Before Wave 5 came out, everyone was like, oh, GBA Sunset Wilds, it's gonna be a fantastic track. I need this one in 8 Deluxe. And then it came out and it was kind of disappointing. But I'm hoping in my Dream Booster Course Pass, Sunset Wilds actually completes itself with the gimmick and looks a little bit better than it does in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Let's throw it back into 8 Deluxe with a better overhaul than it currently has, and it could be one of the best tracks in the whole pack. Now we got a classic in the Boomerang Cup, Wii Maple Treeway. You thought I was leaving this one out? No. Maple Treeway is incredible. One of my favorites, almost everybody's favorite track in Mario Kart Wii. It's a top tier track. It's got brilliant music. It's got wigglers, even though, you know, I'm not a big wiggler fan, but like it's got wigglers for everyone that likes wigglers. It's got some tight turns, so it's got that difficulty as well. We got to get Maple Treeway back in here. That's just no questions asked. And finally, we're going with Yoshi's Island from Mario Kart Tour. That's right, we're keeping the original Yoshi's Island track that was introduced in the Booster Course Pack in Wave 4. I think it fits perfectly. I love the Yoshi coins that you can get, and it makes the Yoshi sound. You got the Yoshi's Island end credits for when you finish the race, and it's got so much fun, unique things that have so much charm about them. I can't leave it out. Kicking things off with the Feather Cup, I'm going Tour Madrid Drive. This is the newest track that was introduced in Mario Kart Tour, the last original city track in Mario Kart Tour. Kind of sad to say, but they ended it on a banger because Madrid Drive is fantastic. It's got a soccer stadium, or football stadium, depending on where you are, but my goodness, I love that sport. It is fantastic, and the fact that you can drive through Goombas with massive shoes, kicking the soccer ball, oh, don't even get me started. That alone put this track on my Dream Booster Course Pass. And next up is our second and last Super Nintendo track, but I'm going with my favorite, Koopa Beach 1. My all-time favorite Super Mario Kart track is Koopa Beach 1. It's so simple. That's what I love about it. You can just ride exclusively in the water the whole time and be chilling. It's a track where you can cut like half the track off. It's so weird and awkward. I love it. I don't know why, but like I'm gonna keep it. Next is a track that I'm surprised didn't get remade in Tour, but is a Mario Kart DS and Wii fan favorite, Delfino Square. I have grown to like it more and more, and I think it would fit beautifully in my Dream Booster Course Pass. And it's got a really fun design. The town section is pretty challenging, and then you get into the open area, and it's just pretty darn fun. So yeah, DS Delfino Square, let's make it happen. And finally, a track that I've just pretty much given up on asking for because I've just accepted that they're never going to bring this track back. N64 Wario Stadium. Guys, come on. We need this track. Just bring it back once. I don't care what game it is, but just please bring it back. I know the DS Wario Stadium is already in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but we're talking about the N64 one. This is a completely different track than the DS one that is already in 8 Deluxe. I know some of you are going to comment about that. It's got the glitch where you can cut half of the track in the beginning of the lap, and I think they should keep that. Wario Stadium, it has to be in here. Now into the Cherry Cup, the second half of Wave 5. We got GCN Wario Coliseum kicking things off. One of the few GameCube tracks that have not been remade in any capacity yet. So let's bring this one back. I need this in my Dream Booster Course Pass. I think it would fit the Coliseum aspect, would have so many anti-gravity sections that would make perfect use of that feature in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So let's bring back Warrior Coliseum. Next up is another Bowser's Castle, GBA Bowser Castle 4. It's time to bring this track back, and they just recently remade it in Mario Kart Tour, and it looks phenomenal. I know we're only showing the GBA one right now from the original, but even that one was the best of the GBA tracks by far, and I think it's really fun. It needs to get remade in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so it's getting into my Booster Course Pass. Next up, yet another Wario track, 3DS Wario Shipyard. This one was one I didn't initially like in the beginning, but that I've grown to like more and more of. So bring this one back into the Booster Course Pass, please. That's all I can say. And last but not least, in Wave 5, the last tour track I will be talking about, Piranha Plant Cove. I know I forgot a lot of tour tracks. I forgot Tokyo Blur. I forgot Piranha Plant Pipeline, Squeaky Clean Sprint, Sky High Sunday, Athens Dash. You know, there's a lot of tour tracks that I forgot about, but I didn't want to include every single tour track because this is my personal dream one. The tour tracks that I'm not the biggest fans of, I decided to leave out to make more use of the original retro tracks that I really wanted to have in the Booster Course Pass. But one that I kind of like is Piranha Plant Cove. I kind of like the dark theme aesthetic, and the music is pretty darn fun as well, and it's got a nice long gliding section. I think it deserves a spot in my dream Booster Course Pass, and that's how we're gonna end Wave 5. Wave 6, I'm going very cliche here. This one's gonna consist of 4 Bowser's Castles. First up, N64. You guys already know it was in N64 Mario Kart, of course, and that it was remade in Mario Kart Wii. It's a fun one. You guys already know that it has to be here in my Dream Booster Course Pass. Next up, we got GCM Bowser's Castle. This one is pretty simple in and of itself. It's got a nice tight turn around the beginning. This was probably the first one to introduce the massive Bowser that actually throws fire at you, as opposed to just the standing statue Bowser in the N64 version of the game. And this one has a nice little mini cut at the end, and it also has a Spiny Show shortcut that you can cut half the track of. One of my favorite Bowser's Castles, so we're throwing that one into the Booster Course Pass as well. We're also throwing Wii Bowser's Castle into there as well. Mario Kart Wii's Bowser Castles is one of the best ones, probably the best Bowser Castle in my opinion. Just a beautiful ramp to get into the castle, the nice Bowser face into the castle, just like the GCN one. It's got a lot of waviness, so some anti-gravity sections could be used there. It's got the infamous glitch. There's really no reason why this shouldn't be in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Finally, 3DS Bowser's Castle, the only one of those Bowser's Castles that has actually been remade in Mario Kart Tour, which makes it even more shocking that it most likely will not see itself in the Booster Course Pass, which blows my mind. But this would be a brilliant way to cap off the first cup in the last wave of my Dream Booster Course Pass. And with a cup of 4 Bowser's Castles, you already know what the Spiny Cup is going to consist of. 4 Rainbow Roads. Let's go through them. GBA Rainbow Road, a severely underrated Rainbow Road. Got some fun music. The rainbow colors are nice and saturated on the roads, and a lot of the edges are bumpers that you can use a mushroom and take incredible shortcuts of. I love to do that as a kid, and I hope they can continue to keep those bumpers in and make that track so broken. Oh, that would be incredible to keep the spirit of the original GBA Rainbow Road alive. Next up, GCN Rainbow Road. I mean, it's not even a question. The one that introduced the absolute craziness with Rainbow Roads. The loop-de-loop, the cannon, the tight turns, the boost panels. Rainbow Road on the GameCube introduced everything that the modern Rainbow Roads have, and I think it would be a perfect fit for the Booster Course Pass. Next up, the one that introduced the loop-de-loop, the anti-gravity wheel, DS Rainbow Road. Like, if there is a Rainbow Road that can use anti-gravity before Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it is Mario Kart DS's Rainbow Road, and it does it twice. It has a loop-de-loop, and then it has like a corkscrew type of thing. The colors of the rainbow are so saturated. The music, phenomenal, and it's got a beautiful starry night sky. I mean, all Rainbow Roads do, but just throw the DS one on there. And last but not least, the one Rainbow Road that we are expecting to appear in Wave 6, this is Wii Rainbow Road. Again, the rainbow colors are not as saturated as some of the other Rainbow Roads we've talked about, but the music is nice, and boy, oh boy, the challenge is there. We go to a steep 90-degree drop, have some tight turns, the wavy jumps, and then a cannon and a bunch of corkscrew tight turns that, you know, loop between each other, kind of reminiscent of the Mark Rate splitting paths, I should say, or is what I meant to say. Also has a really cool glitch now that people have been starting to do humanly now, which is incredible. That needs to be the final track of Wave 6 of the Booster Course Pass, and it probably will be of the current Booster Course Pass as well. Again, we'll see if we are right about that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big, broad list of my dream Booster Course Pass. I know this is a pretty long video, but hopefully you've stuck with me through this entire thing. Let me know, what is your dream Booster Course Pass? Thank you so much for watching and for making it this far. If you are new, subscribe to see more videos like this. Thank you so much to my members for supporting me with that extra step, and I really do appreciate that financial support from you guys. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, stay all pro, and I'm out of here.